Welcome to the John and Abigail Adams ceremony of the class of 2020. Please let's give it a round for the BMC Durfee High School drumline. Thank you to everyone who is here today. My name is Dorothy Barros, the Durfee Student Body President.
And I'm Nick Souza, Senior Class President. And please stand for the National Anthem sung by Maya Fox and Julia Bauer.
They're coming up in a second. Pen. Where's the phone?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you to Maya and Julia. We would like to start off by thanking Principal Damaris, newly elected school committee members Mimi Larrabee and Paul Hart, Mr. Todd Audiotis from the Bridgewater State, and other college partners, faculty, staff, and parents who have joined us today to recognize the recipients of the John and Abigail Adams Scholarship. We would now like to welcome Principal of BMC Durfee High School, Mr. Matthew Damaris.
Good morning, everyone. Parents, it's so great to see you here. This event grows with each year, and listening to the martial beat on the front end of this, it was like a small army advancing into the auditorium. This is what it's all about. You students have worked really hard throughout your careers here, whether it's wholly in Fall River or you came to us along the way. You have demonstrated that you are at a higher level. Why? Because you put in the effort, you do the extra, you're attentive to your studies. And as I look out across this group, I see a group of highly involved individuals. I'm looking at athletes. I'm looking at musicians. I'm looking at actors. I'm looking at engineers. I'm looking at artists. I'm looking at people that are studying the sciences in depth, whether it's robotics, aquaculture. See some of you, the faces out there involved in some of our CTE pathways. You have done already what many others choose not to do. And you are well on your way to a very successful life. Today you're going to hear about what this is. What this means is that if you choose to go to a state college or university, the tuition is covered. And that's a substantial amount of money that comes off the bill. I suggest that you do everything you can to apply for every scholarship out there because so many millions of dollars go unused each year. It's out there. The state college system is the best deal going. Some of you are going to seek to do your college experience at a private institution, and that's great. But please, be wise. look at the finances, because the value is in the state system. If there's a private entity that's putting money on the table for you and it makes sense, do so. But do not saddle yourself with insurmountable debt coming out of college. It makes no sense to have a mortgage without a house. Sophomores, it's kind of dark up there. I can't see you. We brought you in here today to show you an example of if you really put the effort in. Okay, life's not all about this test, but this test can open a door for you. This test can provide you with free college tuition, and that's an amazing, amazing benefit that the Commonwealth of Massachusetts is affording you. So your test is coming up. Many of you have already taken the science, and I'm sure you've done well. I looked at the results. So now we've got ELA and math ahead of you. 1 advanced score, 2 proficients, and landing in the top 25% of test takers gives you access to the scholarship. So that's why the test is important for you. You've already demonstrated that you're proficient. You've already demonstrated that you excel academically. Take that test seriously, and you'll be sitting, well, you won't be sitting down here in 2 years. You'll be in a new auditorium, but we'll be doing this for you in a couple of years. Seniors, this is the beginning of the good stuff. The whole class isn't here, okay? But you're being recognized because you set yourself apart from your peers. As the months come along here and we get through the winter, there's going to be many times when we come together to celebrate success, to honor good work, and to recognize our stars. Every one of you is a star in your own right. You make us proud every day. You make us proud to be Hilltoppers. I hope that you take what you've built here and continue to build a very bright future for yourself. And come back to Fall River. Things are changing, okay? For many, many years, we've had to export our brain power to the world because the opportunity was not here. Whether the opportunity is by way of physical jobs here locally or a connectivity to Boston and other markets where the higher paying jobs are that you strive to hold. With commuter rail coming in and with improvements to our infrastructure and some real change that's on our doorstep, we need you back in Fall River when you graduate, because you know that you got a great start in Fall River. There's a gentleman that climbed Mount Everest. He's from Fall River. He's not a Durfee graduate. His name's Rick Wilcox. If you ever shopped at EMS Sports, he helped start that chain. But when he climbed Mount Everest, he took that classic picture up on the summit, the top of the hill. He's a hilltopper. He doesn't know it. A friend of mine's family was good friends with his family, and they had a picture, that very picture I just described, in their house. He autographed it for him, and he wrote one line on it, and it sticks with me, and it's true, and it's proven true time and time again with each generation that comes through this school. Great things start in Fall River. Yes. Parents, family, I can't thank you enough for giving us the responsibility of being a partner with you to educate your students. They're the ones that make the job easy, and I thank you for that. Thank you, class of 2020.
Thank you, Mr. Damaris, for your encouraging words and your consistent support of the class of 2020. Our next speaker is the Associate Dean of Admissions at Bridgewater State University. Please welcome Mr. Todd Audiatis.
All right, I'm not going to use you guys can hear me okay in the back? All right. So thank you for having me back here this year. I was here last year. One of my favorite presentations. I'm here first to congratulate you on receiving the Adams Scholarship. It is not an easy feat, and it's certainly one that you've earned. But I'm going to spend my time here in the next couple of minutes talking to you about the opportunities, the options that you have now for what you have earned in this scholarship and how you might be able to apply it towards your future education. So, just an overall high view perspective on public higher education in Massachusetts. We have 3 tiers in Massachusetts, 3 tiers of types of institutions that you can now attend with your scholarship. First tier is the UMass system. This is a research university system where the emphasis is put on generating new the latest research in the Commonwealth and in the world. You have world-class researchers and Nobel Prize-winning faculty there. You have the state university system. The emphasis is more on teaching undergraduate students and master's programs for people who are going to go out into the world and practice what it is that they've learned. And you have the community college system, which is a workforce development and a gateway into four-year schools. So 4 different levels. And because of your scholarship, you enjoy tuition, revision here at varying rates depending on the level of the system that you're going to enroll in. So as was stated earlier, that's real money. College is expensive, and all the help you can get makes a difference, and you've certainly earned yourself a nice chunk there. So talk about the layout of the system, the UMass system, distributed in different corners of the state, different size institutions, different settings of institutions, different academic focus. We literally have every corner of the state covered. UMass Amherst, the flagship campus, UMass Lowell, north of Boston, UMass Boston in Boston, and UMass Dartmouth here in our own backyard. We even have the medical school in Worcester, so we literally have the entire state covered. Similarly, when we talk about the state university system, you have 9 different institutions. 3 are specialty schools, one of them being the Mass College of Liberal Arts in North Adams. We have others that I'll also cite, but as we go through geographically, you have Westfield State, Fitchburg, Worcester, Salem, Framingham, Mass Art, the first public art school in the country. You have Mass Maritime, one of only 6 maritime schools in the entire nation, and opportunities abound. And last but certainly not least, Bridgewater State University, again here in your own backyard. So no matter where it is you want to go to school, close to home, further away, big school, small school, urban setting, suburban setting, rural setting, any major you can conceive of is available to you somewhere in the public higher education system. And then last and certainly not least is the community college system. You can see the geographic distribution here. The way they set this up, everyone in the Commonwealth has a community college within 20 to 30 minutes drive. You guys probably have 2 different options if you want to get in the car and go up to Massasoit. But the one closest to home to you, out of the 15 campuses, obviously, Bristol. Again, right here in your own backyard. So plenty of options. Regardless of what it is that you're looking for in a college experience, you will find something comparable somewhere in the public system. But I realize that the way that this scholarship is awarded is based on your performance on a series of exams, right? So you may or may not have been considering college. We're fortunate in that we're still in a good economy here. There are opportunities for you to go into the workforce, go into the military, start making money right away, and not have to make that investment in a higher education. So I want to spend a couple of minutes speaking to you folks specifically, right? In case you're wavering a little bit about why you go to college. First reason is access to more jobs. It's just the reality. If you consider Massachusetts is the first state in the country to have more than half of all jobs require a college degree. The next closest state is 35%. We're that far ahead of the rest of the country, right? So you want to continue to work in the Fall River area or in Massachusetts, you consider all the jobs available to you. You don't get a college degree, half those jobs are taken off the table. Yikes is right, okay? So college, going on and furthering your education, it's not necessarily about that specific goal in mind. If you don't know what you want to do with the rest of your life, college may still be for you. It's about having the options available to you as you move along. The more educated you become, the more options you'll have available. Whatever it is you decide to choose, it's about having those options, okay? Now, lifetime earning potential. If you have not seen this, this is an important point, right? We all work to earn a living to one degree or another. You get a high school diploma, not an easy feat. Average lifetime earning potential, $1.3 million. That's a lot of money. You go to college, you graduate with your bachelor's degree, that number jumps up to almost $2.3 million lifetime earning potential. Ah, man, I just skipped through too quick. So obviously the difference there being, it's like $1 million. It's $1 million difference. College is expensive, but it does pay dividends in the long run in terms of lifetime earning potential. So let's spend a minute here talking about the difference between public and private colleges and universities, right? So my colleagues in the back here from my sister schools will also appreciate this. Here's a breakdown of the 3 levels that I described earlier, the UMass system, the state university system, and the community college system. You see tuition and fees. This is what you'll pay at almost any of the campuses if you were to commute. This is the baseline. This is where your scholarship gets applied here. I'm sorry, tuition and fees. So you pay tuition and fees. So the tuition is knocked down, comparable to the price of your scholarship, but you'll still have to cover the fees. So these are numbers that everyone else who didn't qualify for your scholarship would pay. You pay something slightly less. You live on campus, you're going to pay room and board. So then you see tuition fees, room and board added in, it jumps up to the total cost that you see here. Now this is a lot of money. I have 3 kids at home. My oldest is a junior in high school. I can tell you in all honesty, my wife and I don't have $28,000 sitting on the nightstand ready to throw at this kid in 18 months, right? But if you consider the sticker price comparison to privates, that will run you anywhere between $20,000 and $70,000 a year, this is a nice place to start. We're at half or a third of the price of a private. And some of you will apply to private schools, and some of you will be admitted to private schools. Don't make a decision until the spring of your senior year. Wait till your financial aid packages come back. And 2 things I want you to be aware of. One is, if a school's throwing a ton of money at you, upwards of 50% of their sticker price, unless you're killing it academically and it's straight up merit, be a little leery. Because in Massachusetts in the past 4 years, 8 private colleges and universities have closed their doors or merged. And those students did not get their degree from there. And I took the calls from students from Mount Ida who had spent 3 years of private school money to not get their degree at Mount Ida. So it's a changing environment out there. Be aware. I can tell you in all certainty, Bridgewater State University has been here since 1840, and we ain't going nowhere. And neither are our sister schools. We're here for you. And it's a long-term investment that you can bank on. So why go public? Let's talk about debt-free. Your principal talked to you about the dangers of debt. And there's good debt and there's bad debt, and you'll have people tell you, well, education, that's good debt. Well, I'm sorry, but debt's debt, right, parents? And debt wants to get paid at the end of the month, all right? So if you dig yourself too deep in that debt hole, it hurts. It limits the decisions you can make. In Massachusetts, you can graduate with not 1, but 2 degrees debt-free. I'm going to walk you through this. And it costs less than $35,000, right? First year, Bristol Community College. You're commuting in, tuition and fees, $5,000. Less for you, more like 4, right? Because you got your scholarship. You do your second year back at Bristol, 4 or 5 grand, right? So now you got your associate's degree, you're in at 8. This says 10, you're at 8, right? Because of your scholarship. Transfer over to Bridgewater, UMass, Dartmouth, anywhere in the system, okay? This illustration works anywhere. You do your 3rd year, $10,500. Oh, but I want to live on campus, I want the traditional college experience. Great. You transfer to a 4-year school, apply to become a residence assistant, an RA. You know what? Bridgewater, free room and board. You're living on campus, and you're still paying $10,500. Okay? Finish up your 4th year at a 4-year school. Again, $10,500. Do the math. 31 grand. Under $35,000. I said debt-free, though, right? $35,000 is a lot of money. That's a sacrifice. Well, how do you do debt-free? How many of you guys work right now? How many of you work a part-time job? Almost every hand, right? How many of you work more than 12 hours a week? All right, I'm speaking to you. You continue to work 12 hours a week at a minimum wage job. I did the math, folks. Debt-free. You cash flow that education as you go through school. And you don't owe anybody a thing. So don't you let anyone tell you you can't do this. You can do this. You don't need a financial aid officer. You don't need a bank loan. You don't need family or friends. You want this done, you can get this done. For you. You can invest in yourself, okay? So, what's the return on that? Some people will say, well, you go to public, there's trade-offs, right? You know, you don't get access to the network of alumni or the fancy name or whatever on your office wall. Well, fortunately, there's been some research done recently by Chris Hogan, book Everyday Millionaires. Great book, right? My wife brought this to my attention about this time last year. This is the most comprehensive study of millionaires in America. People who have net worth of $1 million. Not that they've earned $1 million and spent it on baseball card and bubble gum, right? If you called in their chips, they could sell their house, liquidate their pension, empty out the bank accounts, and they'd have $1 million sitting on the table in front of him in cash, millionaire. As part of the study, he looked to see what kind of education in general do these millionaires have in America, right? 7 out of 10 millionaires, public higher education. 7 out of 10, right? So let's walk through who the last 3 are, okay? 1 went to a community college. 1 out of 10 millionaires in America went to a community college. 1 didn't even go to college. You can be successful and not go to college. You can own your own business, not go to college. Heck, you can found Facebook and not finish Harvard, right? So, okay, so great. The last one, 1 out of 10, went to a fancy pants private school. 1 out of 10, folks. That's return on your investment. So in closing, I encourage you, everyone in this room should apply to at least one public. If it's not your first choice, at least have it be one of the many, right? Not because we're easy to get into or in your safety school for financial reasons, okay? And at least go and visit your locals. Go and visit your local publics. They're up on the screen behind me. I promise you, you will be surprised. If you have not stepped foot on one of the campuses in this system, you will be surprised, and the value is undisputed. So again, congratulations, thank you for your time, and best of luck to you guys. Enjoy your senior.
Thank you, Mr. Adiatis. Please welcome the Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Matthew Malone.
I apologize for being late today, but had a couple things to do with my own kids. This is the most important conversation we're having with parents across the system right now, not only here, but across the Commonwealth and across America. Where are you going to school? What are you going to do? I look around this room today. This is the biggest one. I've been here 4 years. This is the biggest one we've had in 4 years. Why? Because the parents are here today. Thank you for being here, because sometimes we've had these conversations. I got like 10 parents sitting here. It's important because this is a partnership. Us, your child, and you. Figuring out your future with our guidance counselors, our teachers, our school administrators. This decision ahead of you is probably the most important decision you'll make in the first 18, 19 years of your life. When we think about the opportunity that you have won, you have earned an Adams Scholarship, free tuition to any state college or university in Massachusetts. My friend here showed the breakdown of tuition fees and room and board. You have free tuition. It's not a lottery ticket. It's not much, but it helps. And when you're thinking about the decisions you have to make, which school to go to, guess what? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter where you go. It matters what you do when you get there. So if you think about the opportunities that we have in Massachusetts, what, 19 colleges, universities, and community colleges? 19. I walk in, I see who's in the back today. How many artists we have here today? You like how I say artists? You can obviously tell I'm not from Fall River. Mass College of Art is probably the coolest art school in the world. It's amazing. Right in downtown Boston. Next door to that out back, we got Mass Maritime. Oh my God. Go on ship, you travel the world. Yeah, you gotta wear a uniform, it's like boot camp, but you can get through it. Engineering, science, if that's what you're into. Next door to that, we got the Mass College of Liberal Arts, way out in North Adams. You're in the mountains, a beautiful part of the Commonwealth. Bridgewater State, right up the street. Amazing campus, in between Providence, Boston, Fall River, right there. We got UMass Dartmouth down the road. We got UMass Amherst, 40,000 students strong. UMass, Happy Valley. You ever been out to UMass Amherst? Great pizza place, Antonio's, right on the main drag. Right? And what else do we have? We got UMass Boston. You want an urban experience? We're building dorms there. Actually, they're already built. You can actually live now in UMass Boston. Community colleges. Here we got Bristol. But there are others that you can look at. And they all have really cool programming. Look at Cape Cod Community College. You know what they have? Aeronautics. You want to work in the airline industry? That's where you go to school. You want to be a nurse? Some of the best nursing programs in the Commonwealth. It's like a 3,500 student waiting list to get into nursing school at our community colleges. Think about that for a second. That's how good our schools are. We have all these opportunities. Now, some of you are like, well, I want to go to Villanova. It's outside of Philadelphia. It's a beautiful place. It's great. But it costs $70,000 a year to go there. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money to mortgage for your future. Because think about it, you're going to go into debt, and as my friend just talked about, you're going to come out and you're going to come see me and say, I want to be a teacher. And I'm going to say, yes. I'm going to pay you $36,000 a year. Think about that for a second. Because if that's the path that you want, you can get the same education and better by going to Bridgewater State. Majoring in education, minor in a content area, come out, you come work for me. 5 years, you're already making 90 grand a year. Think about that. That's the long-term investment of what the next phase of your life is all about. I'm going to be quiet about the economics for a second. I'm wicked proud of you guys. You guys worked hard. You did a hell of a job. What do we got, 100 and what? 142 of our students have won the Adams and Abagail, no, whatever, Adams scholarships. They're from Quincy. But you guys won these amazing scholarships. The Commonwealth of Massachusetts says you've earned a reward for your effort. You've earned a reward for your excellence. You're the role models of all the other kids that I got lined up behind you in their school system. I walk into first and second grades, the worst thing I see is when a kid's not happy, he's sitting alone, he's not understanding what it means to have friends and all those things. You take that kid moving forward, without building those relationships that our teachers do such a good job, we start losing hope. You guys are the role models of hope because you have a trajectory that these kids now can see that there's a path forward to success. But it's not just success, it's happiness. A path forward to happiness, a good life. College opens those doors. Now, college is not for everyone. I don't want you to think it has to be college for all because we have many other opportunities. I'm putting kids from Durfee High School right now into the Laborers Union. I got them working on my brand new Durfee High School building once they graduate. That's other kinds of pathways. But college is a gatekeeper. College is a gatekeeper, but it's not just about getting the degree. It's about building relationships, making friends. It's about learning and growing and developing. And at the same time, I just got to be honest, I got a 16-and-a-half-year-old in my house. All he cares about is having fun. He's like, Dad, I want to go to UMass Amherst. I said, why? He goes, because it's fun. I'm like, yeah, but that doesn't lie. He's like, no, Dad, it's fun. You can party anywhere, my man. It doesn't have to be UMass Amherst. That's what he wants. I said, okay, he wants a big school experience. We have those options, and then we have small school experiences. But right now, you got the greatest thing in the world. The one thing that is, it's freedom. The one thing is that you have options. A life without options is not a fun life. You have options right now ahead of you. This is the happiest time of your lives. And if it's not, make it the happiest time. Because you have freedom and flexibility for success right now. The world is your oyster, and this school pathway is your golden ticket to success. Parents, we're in this together. Am I wrong? I mean, you're picking schools as much as your kids are, am I right? I come home every night and I tell my son about 5 schools I discovered. He's like, Dad, I want to go to UMass. I'm like, yeah, I get that, but now, 2 more things and I will be quiet. It's very, very important that when you start thinking about where you're going to go and all the opportunities that you have, it's not just about your academics. It's also about all the other stuff that you do. My friend right here on the school committee with me, She's involved in a whole bunch of stuff. Your applications, it needs to say all of the stuff that you do, all the stuff that you're involved in school, all the stuff that you're involved in the community, because service is very important. Schools will be looking at that. Right now, I mean, you're going to think, oh, this is a joke. But I'm 49 years old. When you're if I was you, carry forward to your 49, on my resume, it would say awards, and it would say the John and Abagail Adams Scholarship award winner. I would have that at 49 years old because that shows people in high school I kicked butt. All right? That's something that you can carry with you. Today is an honor. Sometimes you guys are all like, oh, school's boring. I'm not happy. Look at me, like, with the thrasher. Oh, now you're smiling. I get it. I called you out. You know, and some of you sitting there, happy as heck. I'm as cool as a cucumber and a bowl of hot sauce. I get it. But we need you guys to be fired up because you're Durfee. You're more than Durfee. You're Fall River. You're more than Fall River. You're the future of Massachusetts. You're more than that. You're the future of America. You're freedom and democracy. That's what we're looking at. That's what we're building and developing. Right, parents? You're shaking your head going, yeah. Can I get an amen? Amen. All right, thank you. All right, and the final thing I'm going to say, and I'm going to get out of here, and I have to say it every year because I do. School is not just about friends and hanging out and doing hard work and getting good grades and building those relationships. It's also about food. Our food service at colleges in Massachusetts is the best food service in the world. The UMass, Amherst, Chow Hall. I call it Chow Hall. Some people call it dining hall. It's the #1 dining hall in the country. Did you know that? The #1. I brought my son out to visit UMass. We didn't go see classrooms. Guess where we went? The Chow Hall. We had some food. We hung out. He's like, Dad, I'm going to UMass. I said, I get it. But that's not just UMass. All of our campuses have amazing student life centers. UMass Dartmouth just built an amazing one. Bridgewater State has not only a new science center, but a new campus center and a whole bunch of cool stuff. All of our buildings we've invested in. They're all amazing. You got to make the most of it. Last thing I'm saying, I'm out. I need you to be safe. I need you to make smart decisions. Your time in this system is running out. Make the most of the last of the time that you have here, but don't make bad decisions. Be safe. Don't ever do anything dumb, getting behind the wheel of a car, doing something that you break our hearts. We love you. We don't want anything to ever happen to you. Remember that. Parents, thank you for your support. Thank you for everything that you do for this great city. And thank you, everyone, for making this school system the best school system in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Malone. The John and Abagail Adams Scholarship provides a tuition waiver for up to 8 semesters for undergraduate education at any of the 29 UMass universities, Massachusetts State Universities, and Massachusetts community colleges. For this scholarship, merit is based on student scores on the 10th grade MCAS test. Presenting the John and Abagail Adams Scholarship is Mrs. Melissa Fogarty, Senior Class Vice Principal, Mrs. Tricia Tweedy, Guidance Counselor, Mrs. Bethany Guimond, Guidance Counselor, and Mrs. Gretchen Creasy, School Adjustment Counselor.
Okay, 2020, we're going to let the games begin. This is your first official recognition for this half of the school year, which is starting off to really pay dividends for you, because now is the time for you to be recognized for all that hard work that you've put in over all of your schooling. It hasn't gone unnoticed by us, that's for sure. Your great office is extremely proud of all 142 of you, and I must say, 142 is more than the 141 that they had in last year's class. So again, you're raising the bar. So let's give ourselves a round of applause for that. Sophomores, hear that, 142, okay? All right, we're gonna begin with the first name of our recipient for this scholarship. And I feel like this microphone's right on top of me, so I need to do a little adjusting here. Okay, the first recipient is Lana Alexander. Emmanuel Allende. Jaden Allison. Ethan Amaral. Samaya Ani. Matthew Balajaran. Lauren Baldo. Aaliyah Barros. Dorothy Barros. Ashley Batista. Julia Bauer. Sarah Benavides. Dylan Bento. Mackenzie Baldock. Malia Baramia. Nevaeh Brown. Miriam Cabral. Catherine Callahan. Ethan Cardoza. Jillian Karen. Sarah Carrero. Nicholas Carrillo. Angelina Cashman. Cassidy Cashman. James Chambers. Ethan Coelho. Evan Coelho, sorry. Evan. Jarrell Colazzo. Angelina Conley. Jade Costa. William Cristano Garcia. Andrew Curtis. Marissa Deluz. Nelson Ricardo DiCavallo. Ethan DaCosta. Evan DaCosta. Brian DeMedeiros. Devin D'Souza. Gia Despagne. Gia, come on, help me out. Was that right? I tried, Gia. Sorry, Gia. I'll get it right for graduation. Don't worry. Gia. Maya Drago. Juliana Duarte. Austin Duffy. Angelina Echeverra. Patrick Elhaj. Adriana Fernandez. Emma Fontaine. Maya Fox. Ethan Fragoza. Alexandra Franca. Tiara Furtado. Alexis Gagney. Natalie Garcia. Okay, sorry. Alexis Giesta. Yelling at me. Jaylene Shiran Hernandez. Trista Emma Gomes. Aliciana Gonzalez. Alyssa Goslin. Ian Grajales. Bradley Green. Jonathan Griffin. Giovanna Grisot. Vanessa Heaney. Kendra Herman-Gildo. Destiny Hernandez. Adam Holmes. Michael Eastlis. Nora Isa. Nor. Sheridan Jean Lewis. Aliana Jimenez. Eddie Jimenez. Jason Julian. Julia Kelly. Nathan Kuchar. Corey LaJoy. Valeria Lamas. Savannah LaRoche. Kristen Lavoie. Nathan Leet. Phoenix Leet. Keisha Leondis. Lane Levesque. Jacob Martins. Courtney Menard. Amaya Mercado. Thomas Michael. Sofatra Minsari. Brandon Miranda. David Monis. Wendell Monis. Callie Mores. Andrew Oliveira. Kiera Oliveira. Rafael Oliveira. Abby Willette. Joey Pacheco. Abagail Pays. Thomas Panchley. Amy Paulino. Caitlin Pavo. Megan Pavo. Giuliani Pazio. Megan Prue. Mizana Rahaman. Brianna Raposo. Christina Raposo. Nathan Raff. Jessica Rivera. Corinne Rodriguez. Abigail Rose. Alyssa Rose. Madison Roussel. Veronica Sang. Darnell Sanders. Angelica Santana. Alyssa Santos. Nathan Saucier. Andrew Saunders. Alexia Silva. Ivy Silva. William Silva. Samantha Soares. Monica Soak. Jakai Sol. Morgan Souza. Nicholas Souza. Zoe Southworth. Samantha Souza. Emily Steen. Damian Tabelis Rodriguez. Haley Tavares. Kaylee Tavares. Devin Tesser. Nathan Tao. Saklita Tang. John Teven. Vanessa Touch. Samaya Udin. Cameron Valcourt. Jason Vieira. Nicole Yeomans Nasco. Okay, once again, what about one big round of applause for our 2020 John and Abagail Adams recipients? Okay, before we do leave, Dorothy and Nick will close it out, but I do want to be sure that all students who did receive the scholarship this morning, at the end, when we do dismiss, we're going to gather over by the art gallery in the foyer, where the photography setup is on the floor over there. We're going to have a nice photo, group photo taken, okay? So don't disperse too far once we leave here. Okay, thank you again. Thank you, parents, for attending this morning. And this is just the beginning of our recognitions for this class. Thank you.
Congratulations to all of the scholarship recipients, and thank you to all of the parents who joined us today.
We would like to invite you all to our auditorium lobby for an ice cream / cookie social and college fair. All colleges at the fair accept the John and Abagail Adams Scholarship. Representatives from Bristol Community College, Bridgewater State University, Fitchburg State University, Framingham State University, Mass Art, Mass Maritime Academy, Salem State University, UMass Boston, UMass Dartmouth, UMass Amherst, and UMass Lowell are all in attendance today. This concludes our scholarship ceremony. Thank you.